boys and girls, and welcome to my preview of Arsenal against West Ham this afternoon. A massive game back in Premier League action after playing in the FA Cup on Monday. And of course, we are a game behind everyone. We will have that game in hand on Wednesday, and it is Manchester City away. But look, we just need to take game by game and trying to pick up 3 points. And with that game in mind on Wednesday, 3 points in this one is absolutely crucial. Now, I know you look at this kind of fixture and you think it's West Ham, they're in a lot of trouble, they're not playing great, they're fighting relegation. So it should be 3 points, but it's never that easy, no matter who you are. And with Arsenal, we always have a few surprises and a few bumps in the road. So let's just hope that today is not one of those surprises. Now, West Ham's recent form. A few weeks ago, I watched them against Manchester City. And I was watching the game and I was thinking, if I'm a West Ham fan, I would be going absolutely mental. Now, I know they went all the way to Manchester. It's a tough place to go. But you've got to put up a fight. It was as though David Moyes sent his team out and said to them, we're going to lose, but just don't get bad. You know, the goal difference could be crucial at the end of the season and could be the difference between staying in the Premier League and not. Just go out there and just don't get bad. And I was watching that game and I was thinking, wow, how poor. And there was nothing in West Ham. And then the game after, they played Liverpool away. And I was thinking, well, this is going to be easy for Liverpool, especially with the way that, you know, West Ham set up against Manchester City. And it was the complete opposite. West Ham took it to Liverpool. They led that game for long periods. And it was only because of two Fabianski mistakes that Liverpool won that game. And I was thinking, what on earth is going on here? You go to Manchester City and you don't even bother. And you go to Liverpool, which is even worse and harder than Manchester City, and you go for it. It's like, my word, you just can't work it out. And you wonder why fans are quite confused as to what West Ham turn up. Last time out, they had a brilliant result, home to Southampton, and they won that game 3-1. And, you know, looking at their fixtures and what's remaining after today, I'll tell you something, West Ham are in a lot of trouble. They play Wolves at home next. They play Spurs away. They play Chelsea at home. They play Newcastle away. They play Burnley at home. And then they've got two games which could be, you know, West Ham's future in the Premier League or not. They've got Norwich City away, and then they've got Watford at home. And then their final two games of the season are Manchester United away and Aston Villa at home. Wow, that is one tough run-in for West Ham. You're looking at the league table, they're fifth from bottom on 27 points. And the only thing keeping them from being in the relegation zone is goal difference. Bournemouth occupy that last place. And there's 3 goals between them. Aston Villa, second from bottom. And they are only 2 points behind West Ham. You know, Norwich are sitting bottom of the league. And there's only 6 points between them. There's 2 goals difference between them, you know, swapping places with Watford. They're a point behind Brighton. And then Newcastle sit with 32 points. And you've got to say that they're a little bit further ahead. So it's Brighton, West Ham, Watford, Bournemouth, Villa, Norwich. 6 teams all fighting to not be that bottom 3. So listen, West Ham have got it all to play for. They've got their struggles and, you know, they're going to have to come to the Emirates and they're going to have to try and play. They're going to have to try and win because they need to. And if they lose, they've got to hope that they don't get spanked because goal difference, like I said, could be crucial. And West Ham, you know, I've spoke to West Ham fans that I know and everything, and they're just fed up with everything. The owners and, you know, what happens on the pitch, the promises, the lies and everything else. And it's not great. So, but yeah, sorry, West Ham. We got to go and get that victory today, and we got to go and get those 3 points, and there's no sentiment there. and we've got to get the job done. And you know, in terms of the Premier League, we won our last 2. And I was saying that, you know, we had that run of 3 games at home, and West Ham was the last of that 3, and I wanted 9 points out of 9. So far it's 6 points out of 6, and we have to get that victory. You're looking at results around us, and you know, people are dropping points. Last weekend we had the weekend off, and we're not really behind everyone because nobody took advantage. Wolves won at Spurs. But then, you know, on the flip side, Spurs dropped points. Manchester United didn't win, and, you know, Chelsea didn't win. Nobody's really trying to grab that 4th spot by the scruff of the neck. And, yeah, that might make things a little bit easier going into Wednesday's game, given the fact that we ain't got the pressure of everyone that won around us, even though it's the game in hand. If we can go and win on Wednesday, that'd be unreal. But priorities first. We have to go and get the job done today. And we have to go and get the 3 points. Weather-wise, looks good out there. It's been raining. Surface will be beautiful. And it's exactly what we like. And I can't wait for this game. And let's just go into it. 3 o'clock kickoff as well on a Saturday. And let's try and get those 3 points. And let's see where we are at the end of the day and what the other teams around us do as well. You've got to look at it. Spurs are going to Burnley. That's going to be difficult. It's a Manchester derby. So Manchester United are going to have a tough one in there as well. And we'll see what happens. So with that said, let's go and get into my starting 11, because this is going to be a very, very interesting one today. Starting off in goal, Leno, and he'll want to forget, you know, about his last game, which was Olympiacos, and get back to winning ways and get back to doing things right. Had a break against Portsmouth, and yeah, I've got no problems with him in goal, absolutely none whatsoever. Now, in the defence, in that right back position, I'm going to go with what Mikel Arteta will go with, and that's Hector Bellerin, but that position concerns me. The only reason why I haven't gone for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, shall we say, ahead of him, is because it's very obvious that he's fallen out of the reckoning with Mikel Arteta, and there's something not right there, and he's not pulling his weight in training. So I go with Hector Bellerin, but he has to watch his positional awareness in this game, and he has to defend. First and foremost, get the basics, start the defending, all right, and then let's see where it takes us. Now, in the centre of defence, first of all, I'm going to go with Mustafi. Now, I think he is back after his knock against Olympiacos, had a rest, and he's been our best centre-back in recent weeks, so that's what I'm going to go with. Alongside him, David Luiz, and yeah, he played all right against Portsmouth, very, very good performance, and he's going to have to be on his game, and none of the silly mistakes or anything else, so that's what I'm going to go with this one, and that is David Luiz. Now, on the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Saka. Kieran Tierney is back in full training, but I think this one might be a bit too soon for him. So I think that Saka will keep his spot in the left-back position, and it's up to Kieran Tierney to try and, you know, take that spot. So starting with today's game, I'm going to go with Saka. Now, the two that sit in front of the back four, first of all, I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. And he came on against Portsmouth, but he didn't really have much of a time out there on the pitch. It was probably a couple of minutes or so. But yeah, you know, he's been doing really well under Mikel Arteta, doing what's needed and everything else. And we're going to need a big performance from him today, especially with Lucas Torreira out for the foreseeable future with a fractured ankle. So alongside him, I'm going to go with Dani Ceballos, and this one makes, you know, the decision very easy given the injury of Lucas Torreira. And in recent weeks, you know what, Ceballos has been coming into the side and he's been doing really well. So hopefully he can keep that form up and he can continue with the way he's been playing. Now, in the attacking three, this is where there is a lot of talk and a lot of questions about what we're going to go with. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. Reiss Nelson had a great performance against Portsmouth, but he needs to start doing it more consistently. And Nicolas Pepe, he's going to have to perform. And, you know, we've seen signs of how well he's been playing, but we need to start seeing some goals and more assists and everything else, and that starts with today. In the middle of that three, I'm going to go with Mesut Ozil, and fact is that it's a home game. Predominantly, he does play better than, you know, he does away at home. But we need him to step up, and we just got to get through the rest of this season before we look at maybe making changes and whatnot. But for this one, Mesut Ozil goes in there. On the left-hand side of that three, I'm going to go with Martinelli, and this one's a pretty straightforward decision for me. The energy, the pace, and everything else, we need all of that out there today. And he's had a bit of a break in recent weeks and not used as much. Played the game against Portsmouth on Monday. Came off the bench against Olympiacos, and he looked really, really good. And yeah, I'll be starting him in this game on that left-hand side, and it's as simple as that. Up front as the main striker, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and I will be playing him through the middle. Eddie Nketiah has been playing well, but listen, we've got a guy that's the joint top goal scorer in the Premier League that is lethal when he's in front of goal. And I'm sorry, but he needs to be playing. Not Lacazette, not Eddie Nketiah, but Aubameyang straight through the middle. And I think if he plays through that middle, he will cause West Ham all kinds of problems. Because if there's one area that West Ham do have a good unit, despite their record of leaking goals, it's in centre of defence, and they'll be tough to go against. And I would have Aubameyang. So there we go. That is it. That is the preview. That is the predicted lineup. As usual, let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree with that lineup. Tough game, but we need to go and get them 3 points, and I think we will. So yeah, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, make sure you smash a like on this video, and there will be a player ratings after the game before previews to the Man City game on Wednesday. So until then, I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.